Let's begin this half hour with that North Carolina father who's gained international notoriety after posting a video of himself shooting his daughter's laptop. NBC's Mark Potter has more on this story. Mark, good morning.
And good morning to you, Matt. This is a story that begins with a teenage girl who made the mistake of trying to hide something on the internet from her parents, including her father, who's good with computers. When he found what she wrote, he responded most dramatically.
And today, I run across a post on your Facebook page that you didn't think I'd be able to see. So since you want to hide it from everyone, I'm going to share it with everybody.
In an 8-minute video posted online and seen worldwide, Tommy Jordan from Albemarle, North Carolina, confronts his 15-year-old daughter for an angry rant she posted on Facebook, complaining about life at home.
Pay you for the chores? Seriously? Pay you for chores that you're supposed to do around the house?
But it was what he did at the end of the video to her laptop computer.
This right here is my 45.
Shooting it repeatedly with a handgun that got everyone's attention.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, yeah. And after that comment you made about your mom told me to be sure I put one in there for her. So that one's from her. And if I got one left, I got 2 left. Now I'm out.
Jordan's video sparked a widespread argument over whether his response was irresponsible or good parenting. He began by reading his daughter Hannah's obscenity-laced note, which she posted for her Facebook friends.
To my parents, I'm not your damn slave. It's not my responsibility to clean up your We have a cleaning lady for a reason. Her name is Linda, not Hannah. If you want coffee, get off and make it yourself.
Jordan's video drew tens of millions of hits, with 10 times more likes than dislikes. Jordan said he was disappointed with his daughter's disrespect.
You want a new camera, you want a new phone, you want a new iPod, but you won't get off your lazy to even look for a job.
Already, parodies have popped up on the internet.
Yeehaw!
After doing the real thing with a real gun, Jordan said his daughter was grounded and barred from the internet, but says they're now working things out.
Hope you've enjoyed your little fiasco on Facebook. Hope it was worth all this. Have a good day, y'all.
The local sheriff's office says that while some people thought the video was the greatest thing and others thought the father crossed the line, no laws were broken and there is no investigation. But, Matt, there sure is a lot of talk.
There really is. Mark Potter, thank you very much. Dr. Phil McGraw is a psychologist and host of the Dr. Phil Show. Phil, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Matt.
I want to mention that I think the headline on this gets a lot of attention. The father shoots the laptop. But the fact is this video is 8 minutes long and it shows a lot. When you first saw the video, Phil, what was your reaction?
Well, I think like a lot of people, it was sort of amusing. And yeah, I think a lot of parents looked at it and kind of vicariously got a chuckle out of it, because how many times have we wanted to scream or go tear a door off the hinges or whatever? So I get that a lot of people's initial reaction was, hey, we've wanted to do that sort of thing. But then when you step back and look at the entire thing and what kind of parenting it is, the first thing that jumps out to me is this is a real mouthy kid. Wonder where she got that. This is somebody that acted without thinking. Wonder where she got that, because Dad sure didn't pump the brakes on this, I think, before he posted this up.
Yeah. Basically, I don't think anybody would argue that what the daughter, the 15-year-old, did was appropriate. She crossed a line. It was rude. It was obscene. Right. But she is 15. That's not an excuse. It's just reality. Doesn't one person in this group have to remain the adult, though?
Well, that's the problem here. She has a 15-year-old brain where you can't really expect her to be able to predict all the consequences of her actions and weigh this stuff out. But he got down to her level. She was disrespectful publicly. She called him names publicly. She cussed at him publicly. And then he turned around and did exactly the same thing. How is it wrong for him to do it, but then it's right for her to do it? You never, ever humiliate your child publicly. That's just not something you do. You don't ever do that. You're supposed to be the adult, the calm in the middle of the storm, where you say, okay, you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences. But this consequence was pretty radical.
Well, when asked why he did this so publicly, Tommy Jordan, the father, wrote, quote, "Because that's how I was raised. If I did something embarrassing to my parents in public, such as a grocery store, I got my tail tore up right there in front of God and everyone." But this is the internet. It's a lot bigger than a grocery store.
Well, and plus, Matt, look, even if that's the case, just because their parents humiliated him publicly doesn't make it right for him to do it. What we want to do is carry forward the legacies that are good, not the legacies where our parents made mistakes. The fact that they did that is not okay. And I always hear parents say, well, I turned out pretty well. Well, did you? Really? I mean, he ratcheted up the rhetoric. And here's the question, Matt. What do you do now? I mean, clearly she has resentment towards them, which probably is passing from day to the next. And I'm not saying that overall they're bad parents. I don't know. All we know is what we see here. But this didn't do anything to lower the resentment on her part.
Well, when you say what do you do now, in other words, you're worried about what happens the next time she does something bad. How do you punish that behavior?
Right. Sure, it's like when you tell your child, okay, you're grounded for life. Okay, what do you do now? What do you do the next time they do something? They're already grounded for life. You've pulled out a .45 and blown up her laptop. So what are you going to do when she breaks curfew or when she's driving and she gets a ticket? What are you going to do now? Go blow up the car? I mean, you've advanced the rhetoric so far that you really have nowhere else to go.
I do want to mention that the father has posted some comments online where he says that his daughter has gotten past this. So while she had her crying fit and was upset about it initially, she now even has managed to laugh about it and she, according to him, is not scarred by it. Now I want to give you the results of the poll we conducted online, Phil, okay? 120,000 people or so weighed in. 73% said this is appropriate punishment. What's your reaction to that?
Well, like I said, a lot of parents are voting vicariously like, yeah, well, I've thought about doing that, and I wish I had. And really, Matt, one of the things I do want to say here is we've got to look at this in terms of matters of degree. For example, 100,000 children born this year will be molested by their father before they're 18 years old. We have such a serious problem with neglect, abandonment, and abusing children physically here. That didn't happen here. So we got to keep this in perspective. Did he use good judgment here? No, I don't think so. Because as I say, where do you go from here? And he's ratcheting up. He got revenge on what she did to him publicly, but it's not his job to get revenge. But we need to keep it in perspective. This is not the most horrible parenting thing that I've dealt with on the show this week. I mean, so at least it didn't involve him violating her physically or otherwise. It's just maybe not the best parenting idea in the world. Because you got nothing. What are you going to follow it up with?
Dr. Phil McGraw, it's good to get your perspective on this. Phil, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Matt.